Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Angelica, and again, I am one of the students in Bryce's coaching program. Previously, I did a video on the QuickBooks Online Certification Introduction, and today I'm going to be doing a video on Section 1 of that QuickBooks Online Certification. That way you have a better idea of how to get through it for your exam and some of the things that it will cover, as well as how to actually navigate through. So this is going to be Section 1 of the QuickBooks Online Certification. So let's go ahead and get started. So this first section is the QuickBooks Online Solutions. Like I said in my last video, there are 5 lessons, which would give you 0.5 CPE credits. This group of lessons introduces the different QuickBooks Online subscriptions and billing options, explore the questions you need to ask to assess clients' needs, and determine apps to use with QuickBooks Online. So whenever we're going through this module, those are the things that we're going to be discussing. So we're going to click on this first thing here, which says Understanding Client Needs. It's going to be 15 minutes long, and then we have this other lesson here, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. Usually it won't have a check mark next to it. It'll ask you to start it. So again, this is just a quick synopsis of what it's going to be about. So in this lesson, we're going to be understanding the client's needs. So it says, obviously, different clients have different needs, and in this lesson, we'll cover assessing clients' QuickBooks Online needs and the factors to consider, as well as the options to migrate clients from other accounting systems to QuickBooks Online. So you'll see the topics that we're going to be discussing, but we're going to click Continue Training, and this is where the meat of the information is. So whenever you first start off in QuickBooks, you want to, and you're getting your clients figured out, you want to know 4 things: who, what, when, and how. So the who right here, we can maximize this, is get to know who your client is, what they're aiming for, and where they're coming from. So we want to make sure we're asking them information about their legal entity type, so their business type that I talked about in my first video. How long have they been in business? What is their industry? What type of goals and mission statements do they have? And then we want to find out what. So what is the structure of their business? What kind of reporting requirements do they have? Do they send out sales invoices all the time? How often are they paying vendors? What type of administrative tasks? What kind of processes do they have? So on and so forth. And then we want to know when. So how often are they running reports? What are their deadlines? How often are they meeting their compliance checks? Those types of things there. And then how. This is where you come into play. How can you help them? Based off the information that you got from the who, what, and when, you can figure out how you can help them. So follow an onboarding process. Plan out, certain goals for them to achieve. Delegate. Take action. So those are the first steps that you need to take. And what I really love about QuickBooks in this training is that you get this client needs assessment overview and client onboarding, but most of all, you get this new client checklist. So I'm going to show this to you because this is super helpful in helping out your clients. So you'll see this here, and this goes into information about what their information is, legal name, phone number, address, yada, yada, yada. But then you have these tabs down here below. So needs assessment. Basically, you can talk to your client about their business processes to identify which ones they use and then mark as a yes or no in this column here. Are they using estimates? Are they sending out just regular invoices? Are they sending out custom invoices? Do they send their customer statements? Do they do progress invoicing, which is basically having a percentage paid each invoice? So, for instance, I work with a cabinet company that they have money up front, and then they get money whenever the cabinets get delivered, and they get money at the end of the installation. So they get paid, I believe, 50%, and then 35%, and then another 15%. So that's the progress invoicing there. And then you just want to go through here, but what's really nice is off to the side here, there are links to actually go to QuickBooks to their resources page to see when it's appropriate to use estimates, how to set up sales tax, when to use invoices, how to do simple invoicing, so on and so forth. Then you have this other tab down here, QuickBooks Features and Solutions. This is what's going to be really helpful for you in determining what type of subscription base they should be using in QuickBooks. Let's say this is the first time that you're speaking with your potential client. They don't have QuickBooks set up yet, but you're trying to get them to set up QuickBooks. By asking and determining certain things about their business, then we'd be able to help them figure out what type of subscription would be best for them. So as you can see here, there are 5 different types. There's self-employed, Simple Start, Essentials, Online Plus, Online Advanced. And we'll go into this in more detail in a little bit. But basically, you'll be able to figure out what goes with what and what would be most appropriate for their business. Then we have this mileage tracking for your clients. If they are using a vehicle to, go back and forth for business, then you can track the information in here. And then we'll discuss this in further detail in the next video, but this is the onboarding checklist of certain steps you need to take whenever you are bringing on a new client into your firm. And then right here, we also have this if they decide to get a QuickBooks self-employed subscription. Here's some information that you can have set aside so that you can use that for future reference. All right, so then we go back to this. And this kind of just goes into detail of what I was saying and just to ask the right questions. So that is mostly what's going to happen in the first lesson. Now you will see here that you will have this knowledge check. You've just completed a meeting with a new client and have established that they need the following capabilities: keeping track of time worked on each client, keeping track of expenses related to each client. So you cannot move further through these lessons unless you actually show this. This isn't gradable, but you can't move forward. Basically, you need to answer this to show that you are understanding the information they're giving you. So I already know the answer to this is plus and advanced. Check your answer. That's right. So then you can move forward with your training. So then it talks about how to actually get clients transferred over, which you can figure out whenever you actually do your own training. All right, so the next lesson discusses the QuickBooks Online subscription. So just exactly what I was telling you about. You're going to want to figure out and ask them questions around their business to be able to determine what is the best subscription for them, because each price is different and each subscription offers certain things that another one may not. So let's go back to this new client checklist that they give you, and we'll look at this QuickBooks Features and Solutions. So we can see if this is just a single user, they just want simple invoicing, and they just need a way to categorize their expenses, we could set them up with a self-employed plan. If they have more people in their team, or even if they are just a single person, but they want more customized invoices, sales receipts, being able to keep track of products and services, make estimates, send out statements, do payroll services, progress invoicing, so on and so forth, then the Simple Start would be the best one. Essentials is going to be a step above that. Basically, it's going to be everything included in here, as well as doing accounts payable, creating custom fields, recurring transactions, time tracking, billable hours, so that they can actually put that towards, let's say they're keeping track of their time for a specific project, and that project is for Kimberly Adams, just a random name, and you want to bill your time specifically to that person, then you'd be able to enter in that time for Kimberly Adams, and it would automatically put that in an invoice for them to be billed for that time that you spent. Then we have a step above that, which is the plus. And this is expenses by customer. You can track classes. So like for myself, I have a company that works with like house rentals, and they want to keep track of those locations and those classes. So whenever transactions come through for that specific location, I can track that for them. Customer types, budgets, inventory, purchase orders, so on and so forth. And then we have the advanced. So this is going to be the big daddy of all the subscriptions, and you get to import invoices, budgets, batch entering. So this is going to be for your like pretty large companies to search for. And you can choose from this drop down here It won't let me because it's in view only mode, but if you made a copy of it, then you'd be able to do so. Then we have it broken down just a little bit more simply here. So again, this kind of goes back to that knowledge assessment question that we just went over of if someone's looking into tracking, I think it was locations and time, basically we would want to click on this plus here because it says location tracking and it does time tracking. So that would be the QuickBooks Plus and the QuickBooks Advanced because the Advanced has all of this combined in it. Now, whenever you get a ProAdvisor program set up, you can offer preferred pricing to your clients. So this means that you can bill them wholesale or directly, and these are the options that you get. So instead of your client paying full price for an actual subscription, they basically get a discount through you. So there's two ways, like I said, wholesale and directly. So if you do it wholesale, you yourself as the firm would be paying for that subscription. And then in turn, the client at the end of the month would pay you back for that. So along with your normal work, they would pay you that price. But it just gives them a better discount. Whereas if you pay them direct or if you bill them directly, they still get a discount, but only for a short period of time, and then it defaults back to a normal subscription amount. So doing wholesale kind of gives you more of an opportunity for one to keep better track of what's going on within your client's books and also gives them more of a discount. So these are the discounts that you can give here. So 30% off the base subscription for Simple Start, Essentials Plus, and Advanced, and then payroll and QuickBooks Time. So those are some of the discounts added in there. And like I was saying, with the wholesale and then with the direct discounts, it's on their subscriptions for a limited time. The rates are exactly the same, but the only difference is that each discount is valid for only 12 months. Whereas with wholesale, you can decide on how to pass the cost on to your clients, and it will be a steady discount for that. So another item that is going to be covered in this section is going over apps. So you can actually integrate apps into QuickBooks. You can look into how to do it, and I can show you where that you can find that information. But basically, the benefits of using apps reduces data entry, solves industry-specific tasks, streamline workflow processes, expand business insight, security and/or separation of duties. So some people will have people use credit card payments through Stripe or Square, and that can integrate into QuickBooks. That way, all those transactions are automatically downloaded into QuickBooks, and you don't have to go through and get statements out of Square and do all of that. So it's all set up for you. I believe there's other apps like Amazon Business, PayPal, so on and so forth, that just kind of help the business get more streamlined, and then you don't have to hassle with that. So let me show you how to get to apps real quick on an actual client. Okay, so I'm on a client's page, but they don't have anything set up on it yet. And if you went here to Banking, App Transactions, you'll see some of the apps here. So you can connect to this app, you can learn more about it, you get to read reviews, you can request a demo from the developer, you can try it out beforehand. So apps are very good to have in the business to help out, like I said, streamline the process a little easier. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I will see you in the next one on section 2, where we will be going over the client onboarding process. So I'll see you there.